Retired detective Nick Charles and his wife, while on holiday in New York, are drawn into an investigation on behalf of their mutual friend, whose inventor father has gone missing, in 1934's comedy crime whodunit, The Thin Man. And that's the movie we're dusting off this week on Movie Bones.
Hello there.
Hello. Another glass. How are you?
You know, we do know each other.
Well, of course we do. We've known each other for years.
Aren't you Nick Charles?
Yeah?
You don't remember me. I'm Dorothy Wynant.
Not that scrawny little bit of...
Yes.
Or how'd you ever remember me?
Oh, you used to fascinate me. Real, live detective. You used to tell me the most wonderful stories. Were they true?
Probably not.
Tommy, this is Nick Charles.
Hi, Tommy.
How do you do?
Let's have another glass.
You worked once on a case for my father.
Yeah. Some nut wanted to kill him. How is your father?
Oh, that's what I came to ask you. He's disappeared.
Now, don't say that, darling. He's just away somewhere working.
Well, I can't find him. I've tried everything. I thought you might know.
I don't know anything. I've been in California for the last 4 years. So what about his lawyer? Used to be some bird by the name of
Macaulay?
Herbert Macaulay.
Well, I tried him once.
Why don't you try him again?
Here's a nickel.
Thank you. I'll be right back.
You know, she's got me worrying, too.
Oh, you mustn't worry about him. Mind you, he's a great guy, but screwy. Say, what is the score, anyway?
Oh, so it's you he was after.
Hello, sugar.
He's dragged me into every gin mill on the block.
Yeah, I had him out this morning.
I thought so.
Oh, this is Tommy, my wife.
How are you?
How do you do?
Tommy, I don't usually look like this. I've been Christmas shopping.
Madam, I'm afraid we shall take the dog out.
Oh, it's all right, Joe. It's all right. It's my dog. And, my wife.
Well, you might have mentioned me first on the billing.
So to celebrate this year, Ryan and I chose the Thin Man, which is kind of appropriate because there's a Christmas party involved, which also happens to be one of my favorite scenes from any film from this time period. But it's also based on a Dashiell Hammett novel, so this also kind of doubles as kind of a Christmas gift for you, Ryan, because I know you like the Maltese Falcon so much, and it's kind of a noir film still. It's working in a lot of that genre, so Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, even though, you know, we record these weeks in advance. This is an early Christmas gift, but yeah.
Yeah, and what a gift it is. Is.
Yeah, what do you think of your gift?
Great gift. You know me so well. I say that with sincerity too, because like this is just a fun movie. Like
it is.
Just a fun movie, like a fun, good movie that I don't want to say giving away something I said later on in my notes, but because I don't know if I go into full depth with it, but it's just like you watch this movie. I knew enough about this movie going into it to know that it had a bunch of sequels to it because I've seen it, ran around before. And it's like, okay, I get it now.
Yeah. I can totally see why,
Yeah.
It's still kind of noir. It has all the elements of noir in it.
Absolutely.
But it's so light, which noir tends to be really dark and heavy, but they do something that was very unexpected with this. This is a lighthearted noir film. And it never shakes that, really. Even from the beginning to the end, it never shakes that sense of lightheartedness. Even during moments of gravity where there's a scene late in the film where you've got, Nick has discovered the body of the Thin Man, and he's still wise talking with his dog. Yeah. It's like it never so it's consistent, and it doesn't ruin the mood at all.
That part too. I was laughing quite a bit at that part. He discovers the body, then like someone's coming in, and Nick says to the guy like, hands up, don't try anything wise or my dog will get you. And then like it cuts to a picture or cuts to the scene, a little clip of the dog and the dog's like hiding.
Yeah, I know. I got to give credit to the dog too. They picked a well-trained dog for this and he kind of almost steals the show at times,
It does make me wonder if like the dog becomes more prominent in the later films. I would imagine something along the lines, but I'm not entirely sure because I've never seen the other films. But it just seems like that's one of those things that you could imagine, or you can see them going that direction. Like, hey, we're going to give the dog more to do.
Yeah. They gave him a name credit, I think, in the credits, which,
I think so, yeah.
Hollywood does have a tradition of giving, and Skippy, which I think actually might be the name of the dog. I'm not sure in this one, but it was something like that. Anyway, but yeah, it's like, and he fits the mood perfectly too. There's an interrogation scene, between, I think it's Nick and the police officer. They're at the apartment of someone they need to get information from. I can't remember which character it was, but he's some hoodlum type character, and he's got a girlfriend.
He's a stool pigeon is what he is.
The stool pigeon. And even then I wouldn't like you. It's like, I love that line. But it's like in the middle of all this, there's still laughs coming. And it's like in an ordinary noir, this would be the hard bitten, scene where the guy's coming down hard on the guy. He's got to get the information out of him, and he's all tough talk. But with Nick, he can't do tough like that. Not like that. He's too self-effacing. And I love that about him.
I love that particular scene too, because you've got them talking, and then he's like, "Let me show you something. I'll be right back." And then Nick just nonchalantly walks over to the phone. The other cop that's with him, like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I'm calling the precinct,
calling the police office."
Why are you doing that? Because I wanted to tell him because he's gone.
Yeah, and he grabs the phone out of his hand. And he's like, yeah, you got to go do it. It's like, oh, that's perfect. Just stuff like that. It's like it inverts so many kind of expectations on the genre. It's a noir film, but it's not like a noir film I've ever seen before.
Yeah, absolutely. I like characters like Nick, which I don't think we get a lot of characters like that all that often, because I like characters who absolutely know, without a shadow of a doubt, they're the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
However, here's the difference with a character like Nick and like other characters like that. You think of characters like, I wouldn't say the Doctor from Doctor Who, not him, but like Rick from Rick and Morty. Any kind of like really smart character. Yeah. Often there's this like mean type of arrogance that comes with those types of characters. Not Nick. Nick is really just like he's the smartest guy in the room for his skill set. And he's just, he's nice about it. He's kind about it. And he's playful about it. It's not the type of intelligence that the person's bitter about being intelligent. It's a type of intelligence that's like, I can manipulate, not in a bad way, but manipulate my surroundings and make it very breathable, make it very light and everything. And then it just bounces off of Nora so well.
And I have
that chemistry, and then like him being the smartest guy in the room, and she plays such a good, in a sense, of foil, because while he is the smartest guy in the room, she can move him to doing what she wants him to do. Not in a manipulative bad way, but in a manipulative, lighthearted
way, in a way that they know each other really well.
Yeah.
Pretty girl.
Yeah, she's a very nice type.
You got types?
Only you, darling. Lanky brunettes with wicked jaws.
Who is she?
Oh, darling, I was hoping I wouldn't have to answer that.
Come on.
Well, Dorothy is really my daughter. You see, it was spring in Venice, and I was so young I didn't know what I was doing. We're all like that on my father's side.
By the way, how is your father's side?
Oh, it's much better, thanks. And yours?
Say, how many drinks have you had?
This will make 6 martinis.
All right. Will you bring me 5 more martinis? Leo, line them right up here.
Yes, ma'am.
What hit me?
The last martini. How about a little pick-me-up?
No!
Here's the funny thing about this. For being a noir film, it really is, the strongest part of the film is this relationship, which actually happens to be one of my, it's like if I was to pick a relationship that said this is like a model relationship for human beings, it's like everybody, it's like, what's that saying? It's like, find yourself someone who looks at you the way this person looks at that thing. And it's like, I would say, find yourself someone, if you're a Nick, find yourself a Nora, and vice versa, because they're so comfortable with each other. They trust each other implicitly. There's a scene where it's like Nick ends up comforting a younger woman in his arms just because she's distraught, and in walks his wife. And the only thing they do is exchange goofy faces with each other because they know each other so well. There's no love triangle here. It's like, no, they know each other really well. It's like, no, you're just being a goofball. I love how well they know each other. I love how much they trust each other. There's so much goodwill that they have through snarkiness. It's the good kind of snark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that about them.
You know, my only fear with like two characters like that and then having so many sequels, like there's probably one that just kind of, not I wouldn't say undoes it, but just doesn't do it justice.
Yeah. No, I get that.
And like I know we're not talking about the other movies, but like there's like a lot of these movies and everything. Honestly, I'm a bit surprised, and I could be wrong. Really kind of surprised it hasn't been remade yet.
I know, right? This feels like a natural kind of. You have to find the perfect chemistry for it, but I see what your point is about the kind of trick that they pull. It's kind of, for me, it's kind of like the trick that Clouseau pulls off in the Pink Panther that we talked about. It's a great trick, and although in this case it really does work on its own, but it is something that you could stretch out, and eventually, if you saw too many repeats of the same thing without doing anything new with it, it would get old, It almost takes away from the uniqueness of the original, the uniqueness and the kind of specialness of that original piece by trying to replicate it exactly.
I mean, this was so popular back in the day. They had multiple movies. There was a TV show. There's even a Broadway musical. The only reason why I know that is because I'm looking at like a page that's specifically about Nick and Nora.
Mm-hmm.
So William Powell and Myrna Loy, who was our, two people, they played Nick and Nora from 1934 to 1947.
It's quite a run.
You have, so I mean, that means I would assume they're in all the movies. Well, all the movies that came out maybe theatrically. But you had a whole slew of people who played Nick and Nora from 1941 to 1950 on the radio. You had two people, Peter Lawford and Phyllis Kirk, who played them on television from 1957 to 1959. By the way, that had 2 seasons, and that was 72 episodes, so that's not a bad run.
Peter Lawford from the Rat Pack.
Yeah, and then you have Craig Stevens and Joanne Flug. I think that's how you should probably say her name. Or Plug. That was a TV film. I don't know the date of the TV film. And then there was a stage play. Oh, there's a Broadway musical and there's a stage play. The stage play came out in 2009. The Broadway musical came out in 2021. Or not 2021, sorry, 1991. It's like, this is a, like, honestly, the last major film was Song of the Thin Man. That was in 1947. So it was the last time our two people here played those characters. I'm imagining, unless they had some kind of falling out, I would imagine that their chemistry was just off the chain the whole entire time. And so they probably didn't mess with the characters too much because of that.
It certainly got me piqued to at least explore some of the other sequels,
The two actors have like their own joint Wikipedia page. They starred in 13 movies together. That's not just Nick and Nora. They starred in 13 movies together throughout their career. The 13 movies spanned from 1934 to 1947, with the last 2 movies being in 1947 being Song of the Thin Man, where they played Nick and Nora again, and then The Sinner was Indiscreet. Their frequent pairing, always playing a couple, and on-screen chemistry, especially in the 6 popular Thin Men films, where they, played husband and wife, led many fans to actually believe that they were married in real life. However, they were only good friends. No, in a 1988 interview, she explained, "I think we were too much alike for a romance."
Oh, wow.
This only took 16 days to shoot. It was actually supposed to be a B movie.
Wow.
Yeah, but it was a box office and critical hit.
Can you imagine stumbling your way into this as a Hollywood executive? You're producing these cheap, one-offs. You're not supposed to do much. You don't invest that much money into them, and all of a sudden, it just blows up.
Yeah, because the director has a nickname. I don't think Wikipedia is the best source of things in the world, but it is kind of funny what rabbit holes you can go down.
Oh, yeah.
The director has a nickname. Now, of course, his name is W.S. Van Dyke and everything, but that's not his nickname. His nickname is One Take Woody.
I mean, it's got to help to have 2 actors like, Myrna Loy and William Powell, who had such natural chemistry with each other that they were able to, so easily, just kind of, if that was one take, that's incredible because it looks like they've been doing this their whole lives, That's how it feels when you're watching the 2 of them. It's like, it's making me think of like Hepburn and Tracy and some of the other great couples that we've seen across cinematic history, It's those names that always get mentioned together with somebody else. It's not as prominent these days as, if you were to mention, Powell and Loy, you would probably get a few faces like, what? But it's like, it's absolutely one of those. Absolutely. Yeah.
And I really like that.
It's interesting to like compare this to what we just saw with Jigsaw, because Jigsaw was very much, as we said, it's like a very procedural type film. And it's like, but it felt, if you just took, and it had some elements of character with the two detectives, but it wasn't very dynamic, what I would call dynamic relationship material. But it shows you just how much you can elevate the material by adding really good character chemistry. And it's like, so what procedure lacks, this movie shows you exactly. It kind of shines a spotlight on that too.
Yeah. And again, like, part of the reason why there's no procedure in this movie is because, he's just the smartest guy in the room. He doesn't, it's like it's not that he's above procedure. It's just he's above procedure, really.
It's just not the focus, Yeah. It's just not the focus. In fact, I think
he's a very Batman, Sherlock Holmes-esque character in which he's always seems like he's about 2 or 3 steps ahead of everybody else.
Because it is, at its heart, still it's still a noir film with a crime that has to be solved at the center of it. One of the weakest points, ironically for me at least, was that when it comes back to the climax where he invites all the suspects to the dinner table, and he's going through one at a time, kind of explaining things out. It's like, that's when there's least kind of character moments and more just kind of explaining stuff. And that's actually when it kind of gets like, can we just wrap it up kind of a thing? Because I was less interested, to be honest. I was less interested in who did it than actually just keep watching them for the sake of their relationship. It's a weird thing to say that's one of the weakest parts of the movie for me, but I mean, there it is.
Yeah, I think I agree with that point too. And here's the thing too, like, the answer was weirdly obvious when they said it. I was like, oh yeah, that makes just so much sense that it would be that person. And it's a character you don't really spend a whole much time with in the movie, I don't think. But,
yeah, because they set up so many motives.
My guess was the future son-in-law. And one of the reasons why is just I didn't think, like, even though he didn't show any kind of motives, like the background motives were there. If, like, about the money, about all this, and then, like, you get all these people that are suddenly in your way. And because you're trying to marry into the money, it's like, okay, well, now I got to get rid of you. And then, like, maybe the dad finds out. So you're like, I got to get rid of you.
I can see that.
And then it was just like, no, it's a lawyer. And it's the lawyer because he just, like, he's the one that controls all of this. And it's like, yeah, this is the most obvious answer. And they just make it work.
Yeah, because it's like all the phone calls and stuff had to go through him. So he could control the flow of information that way too. Maybe if they weren't there, maybe you would figure it out sooner. But it's like, it does a great little sleight of hand because it's giving you something so fun to chew on. You don't care that you're not thinking about, like, all the, the actual mystery itself,
Yeah, you get to a point where you only want to know it because she wants to know it.
Yeah. The whole reason he takes it on actually is it's kind of out of necessity. But like you said in your notes, it's kind of like also because it's like he wants to kind of impress his wife. It's like he's doing this because it's like, well, she always wanted to see me work. Here's an opportunity. It's not because he was looking for it, and he even resisted it for a while. But it's like finally it's thrust upon him because he's actually, everyone keeps assuming he's involved in the case. And it's a totally tangential thing that he's not really involved. It's almost like, I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
He wants to be on vacation. It's great that way. So anyway, yeah. So I know where you're coming down this. Yeah, go ahead and tell the audience where you're coming down on this. Because I know.
For me, it's, they probably figured it out by now too. For me, this is absolutely a fortune and glory. And it's because it is 100% because of their chemistry with one another. It is also, when you see a movie like this, you see that it's spawned so many movies. I mean, it's just like, that makes sense. It just makes perfect sense to me. The chemistry, the funness of the movie, the lighthearted nature of the movie. Yes, it's a dark tone, or it's a dark, situation where people, or 3 people die in the movie.
But it doesn't feel like they die. It doesn't feel that.
Yeah.
You don't feel that. You feel the lightheartedness.
You do have the femme fatale. You do have, like, the gloomy atmosphere. But it's just, you've got Nick and Nora, and they're just so perfect. I don't know if these 2 characters weren't in this movie, if I would feel the same. But I can tell you with them and their banter with one another and just how they play everything, like they play just everything off of each other and off the world around them. Yeah, it's 100% Fortune and Glory. Like this is one of those movies. Like I could sit down and be like, if I wanted to, I'd be like, I could watch this right away, right again.
Yeah, yeah, there are those movies too. Yeah, and I totally get what you're saying. And I'm almost there with you. I mean, it's only because I'll confess again, I am not a noir film kind of like, I'm not the same level of aficionado that Ryan is. And I'll cop to that, And part of the parts of noir that I guess is the procedural part is it doesn't interest me as much. And especially when you're faced with something that's so interesting with Nick and Nora. And that's why I love this so much is the Nick and Nora aspect. This is so take it from me that at 4.5 out of 5, which is like halfway between, Trust Me and Fortune and Glory, that's really good for me coming for a noir film. This is high praise for Justin. We had a very different reaction to each other for like a movie like The Maltese Falcon, which has the same author as The Thin Man, who, the same author behind both works, if you want to go back to their source material. Same author, different directors, of course, and different interpretations, different expressions. But it makes all the difference in the world for me. That's Nick and Nora. And it just elevates this so much for me. So yeah, this is 4.5 out of 5. This is between Trust Me and Fortune and Glory.
It's perfect. That's a perfect score too. By the way, did you by any chance come across, because like we have our notes here, and all of our notes have like, most of the major actors and everything in it. Did you come across a name that looked familiar to you? Did you see it?
Yes. I don't know if it's the same one you're thinking of, but it's like, what is it? Let me go through the list here. It's Cesar Romero.
That's exactly the one I was bringing up.
Yeah. And we've seen him in one other movie. You know what the other movie was that we've seen him in?
I don't remember. I just remember he's the Joker.
He's the Joker in the Batman TV series, of course. But he's also, we watched, was it Ocean's 11?
Oh, yeah.
And there was a part for him in that movie that, all I remember from him in that movie, I know he was a side character, an outside influencer, kind of keep the plot moving at different points, if you want to call it that. We both had our thoughts on Ocean's 11. I don't think he has the mustache here. Because I think actually that was one of the things. I think he actually, for the Joker, he refused to shave his mustache. I think he's just painted over it with the white makeup. If you look at it, I think that's what he did. That's my speculation. It's from my perhaps faulty memory. Maybe some of you guys out there can confirm that or not, but yeah. Anyway, folks, that's our review for The Thin Man this week. At this time, we'd like to remind our listeners out there that if you're having a good time with Ryan and me dusting off these old movies in search of celluloid treasure, please do like, subscribe, comment, and of course, follow us on your podcast purveyor of choice. Tell us what you think we got wrong, because we're just human beings, doing our best to give our opinions. We're not filmmakers. And of course, clue us in on a few titles you'd like us to see cover in future episodes. As long as they're available for free on Tubi, preferably, or maybe Internet Archive, also an option, because this adventure comes with no strings attached. And we have a film coming up that I believe is not on Tubi, actually, ironically. It's actually, I think, on Internet Archive. But would you like to tell the audience about this one?
Yeah, our next our next Nukem film, Nuke the Fridge film, is coming your way. This movie, I'm just gonna say who it stars first. John Agar, Joyce Meadows, Thomas Brown Henry, Robert Fuller. I think Robert Fuller sounds like a familiar name.
Possibly.
But who knows? It's directed by Nathan Warren. I don't know if I said that his name right. But anyways, this is what the synopsis is. A powerful criminal brain from Planet Arous assumes the body of a scientist and seduces his fiancée while threatening destruction to any country challenging his domination. This is the brain from Planet Arous.
I think it's in the movie. It's called Arous.
Arous.
It almost sounds like that particular kind of love that would get us in trouble. I think that's what they were going for, but it's spelled differently.
Yeah,
it's that kind of love, but it's not that kind of love. It's like it sounds like that, but it's not that. It is and it isn't. It's weird. I have seen this before. Oh my
goodness! I just saw a picture of the movie.
Is it? You have to. Okay.
Just the poster.
Okay, I haven't seen the poster, but there is a shot in this movie that I'm going to be using. I have seen this before. This is, and you're right to presume that it's a Nuke the Fridge, because if you don't give this Nuke the Fridge, I'm going to be wildly disappointed, Brian, because I'm going to give it that already. It's a spoiler ahead of time, but yeah, this is one of my all-time faves. It's close to, Plan 9 levels. So, but
I'm gonna say this, and when we do this episode, I'm not kidding you. Because I'm looking things up about it right now. I'm not gonna say it for that. I'm gonna say it again. Stephen King said that this movie helped him create Carrie.
Oh.
Yeah.
I am having a hard time making that connection.
This movie has a lot of influence.
Does it really?
I'm not kidding you. It has so much. It's wow.
I'm going to give you the task, Ryan, of doing the research on the influential aspect. I have some kind of trivia based on this film, but only so much. If you have the instinct to go down that rabbit hole in this one, by all means, I want to learn more. I'm eager to learn. Well, I guess that's all we have to talk about this week, man. So in any case, I guess we'll see you next week, folks out there. And Brian, I'll see you next week. Happy New Year again.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. See you next week, Brian.
See you next week.
All right. Bye-bye, folks.
I love you because you know such lovely people.